Guys, it's Morphin time! Let's get started on my spoiler review. You guys saw this coming. I mean, obviously, I'm such a huge Power Rangers fan that I just felt like I needed to talk about the spoilers in this movie. If you've not watched the movie yet, what are you doing? Go out, watch it. It's a good movie. It's very well put together. And yeah, let's get started on the spoilers. Spoilers. This movie is actually really funny. It surprised me. I thought it was going to be super cheesy, but I feel like the actual humor in this is very MCU-like. I feel like some of the jokes land, and they land with a bang, and some of the other jokes kind of don't land, but it's still really, really funny, and it kind of just helps the movie because the actual TV show is extremely cheesy. If you guys have watched Power Rangers in the past, you know it's cheesy. If you watch it now, it's even more cheesy and even more cringeworthy. So I think this movie really keeps that spirit of that. Let's talk about the beginning of this movie. So the movie starts out in what seems to be like millions of years before civilization, and it's Earth. And you get to see the Red Ranger that is actually Zordon. It's Bryan Cranston, painted in blue makeup, and he looks amazing. Oh, the makeup in this beginning sequence is actually really good. You get to see the Yellow Ranger, who's also an alien, and that just kind of reminded me of the Aquitar Rangers, the Quishins, and Alien Rangers. Back, I think it's the second and third season of Mighty Morphin, when the Alien Rangers come to Earth and help the Rangers defeat Master Vile, I think it is, and of course, Lord Zed and Rita. A little bit of that in this movie, which made me really, really happy. So there's a scene that I didn't mention in my other review because I thought that it was kind of a spoiler, or just not, I didn't know how to feel about that scene. But when you first meet these characters, there is this scene when they all kind of meet up at the spot, at the mine spot, and they are about to find the coins. This is before they find the coins. Trini, Becky G's character, is standing on top of the mountain looking down at everyone, telling them, hey, this is a restricted area. And then the mountain kind of dissolves. It kind of falls apart, and she falls along with the rubble and everything. And I was so confused, because if that was in real life, obviously it's physics, and I mean, this movie doesn't really count towards that, but I thought she would have died. You hear, as an audience, you hear how loud that hit is, and I was like, how is she still alive? But nonetheless, I really like that scene because you're kind of in suspense of knowing, is she gonna get up or not? Also the train, oh my gosh. So I have a major anxiety, and some movies, I just need to know what happens before it happens. Like, if there is a movie that I'm really looking forward to, kind of like Power Rangers, I did look at other reviews before I went in, because like I said, I have a major anxiety. I cannot sit through a whole movie without knowing what's gonna happen, because it just messes with me and I just feel uncomfortable. But I didn't look rather into this movie as much as I did with Logan. I'm not doing a Logan review. Too bad. So this train scene, and they're all in the van, and they're all driving and trying to beat the train, and the train kills them pretty much. Luckily they had the coins, so they were just transported and saved pretty much. But I was really, really scared. Like, that got me off the edge of my seat, and I was like, oh my gosh, are they gonna beat it? Are they not? Are they gonna die? What's going on? So that was one of the scenes that I, as an audience member, felt the bang. Like, I felt the moment the train hit the van, I felt it in my soul, and I was like, oh my gosh, what a great start to this movie. So I really enjoyed the school parts in this movie. Sometimes if the teenagers are not training, they're usually in school, and that was given to me here, and I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that aspect. But there's a scene in the trailer where Trini is standing in front of her locker, and her locker is all tagged up with a bunch of ugly sayings. Well, we don't get that in this movie, and I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to see that. I felt like it would have been a good message to everyone that you shouldn't bully anybody because that's like a really, 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 really bad feeling from the receiving side. But anyways, we don't get that, and I feel like that would give her character a little bit more than what we got, so that kind of disappointed me. Like I said in the last video, Trinity is a background ranger. She doesn't get much to do, doesn't get much to play with. She's just kind of there to fill the spot, fill in that yellow spot. But what I did like is at the end of this movie, towards the end, before the credits start rolling, she's fixing her room because Rita comes and pretty much breaks everything in her house, well, in her room. So she kind of attacks her and pushes her to the walls and breaks mirrors and stuff. But at the end of this movie, you see her fixing everything, or trying to fix everything, and her little brothers are pretty much helping her, and they're talking about how cool the Power Rangers are and which Power Ranger that they like the most. And so she goes, hey, what about the Yellow Ranger? And they're like, you know what, he was cool too. And I thought that was funny that they said he was cool, because in the original Sentai, he was cool. He was a man. The Yellow Ranger was played by a male, so I thought that was like a little nod to Super Sentai. And yeah, I think that was cool. I really, really like the campfire scene. I know I talked a little bit about the campfire scene, but I really enjoyed the campfire scene. Ludi Lin and Becky G killed it in that campfire scene. At first, I thought it was a little misplaced when he's like, hey, I have food, let's start a bonfire. But it actually worked out because you get a little bit of their background. You get to see that Zach is crazy and wild because he's scared. His mom is sick and she's the only family he has, and that's why he doesn't go to school, because he wants to pretty much take care of her, but he's afraid that she won't make it. So you kind of get that little bit of background on him, which makes his character even more compelling and even more interesting to me. Becky G kills it monologuing why she is the way she is, why she's so closed off to the world, why she rather not make any friendships, because she's never in the same place at all. She's always moving around. So I actually like that. I know everywhere it's been plastered that the Yellow Ranger is the first LGBT character in the Power Rangers. I hope she is, because I feel like we need diversity, and I feel like everyone needs to be represented, and I'm represented because she is the first Mexican American Power Ranger that's a female, and I feel like I see myself in her, and I really do want the LGBT community to be invested in this movie and to be represented, because obviously they don't really get much representation, and I feel like that's wrong and we should all be represented. But yeah, I hope she is, because that'll give them a little bit more to work with her. Honestly, like I said, I really think she did good for her first film. She really killed it in that campfire scene. Like I said in my original video, you really feel for these characters, especially her and Zach. You really feel for them. You feel for Billy too. The best character in this movie, the most compelling character in this movie, the one that gets more screen time is Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme, oh my goodness. Krispy Kreme, you know damn well they paid real good money to sponsor this movie, because the center of life is Krispy Kreme. That is a line from this movie. The center of life is Krispy Kreme. So in the movie, the Zeo Crystal is in Krispy Kreme. So Krispy Kreme comes out a lot in this movie, and it's mentioned a lot in this movie. I thought that was funny. My favorite scene that involved Krispy Kreme is when Rita Repulsa is eating a donut inside Krispy Kreme while there's a battle between Zords and Goldar in the background. I thought that was funny, but yeah, Krispy Kreme, they're the best character in this movie. So, a Power Ranger dies. A Power Ranger dies in this movie. Unfortunately, Billy dies in this movie, and it is very, 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 very sad. I was getting ready to get up, clean my hands, and leave when I saw Billy's death, but let me explain how that goes about. So, Rita goes to Trinity's house to try and confront her and try to get Trini to ally with Rita, but it doesn't work out, and Trini kind of tells them, hey, she came to my house, attacked me, we need to stop her now, let's go. So they go to the docks, and she kind of beats their ass really quickly and then ties them up. Mind you, they can't morph yet, but she ties them up along the side of a ship and is asking them one by one, where is the Zeo Crystal? I need the Zeo Crystal or you will all die. So everyone's like, oh, we don't know. And she goes to Billy and she's like, you know where the Zeo Crystal is. Tell me or I will kill your friends. And he says, okay, it's in Krispy Kreme again. But, yeah, knowing Rita, she's an evil villain and she kills him. She pretty much cuts him off of the side of the ship. He falls, he drowns, he dies. Yeah, that was very emotional for me. I kind of cried a little. I was like, no, Billy's not supposed to die. He's supposed to outlast all of them. What? No. But, yeah, he dies, and that was kind of sad. Fortunately, though, Zordon brings him back to life. Zordon was waiting for a special moment so that he can come back to life and help the Rangers, but instead, he sacrificed himself to bring Billy back, and, yeah, so it's kind of like a cop-out. They kind of wrote themselves into the corner, but I feel like it did well. It gave us a little bit of drama, but, yeah. Zordon and Alpha 5, okay, here's my issue with Zordon and Alpha 5. We don't get much of Zordon and Alpha 5, and I kind of feel like anyone could have played those roles. Also with Rita Repulsa, anybody could have played these roles. Honestly, anyone. It could have been Rita Repulsa, Zordon, or Alpha 5, but I feel like this is sort of just like a tease to Zordon and Alpha 5. We don't really get to see much of them. Scenes with him. Give me more. We pretty much paid to come see him, Elizabeth Banks, and Bill Hader. Like, that's who we paid to see. Pretty much, they're the big actors in this film, so you know that they're getting most of the attention and stuff. But we don't really get much of them, which it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because we get to focus more on the 5 Rangers than on them, but it's bad because I wanted a little bit more of them. I wanted to see what they would bring to these iconic characters and what they would change and what they would add to them, like mannerisms and certain things that these characters do in the show, and I wanted to see that be incorporated into the movie, but sadly we don't get enough of them, so that is really disappointing to me. So I haven't really talked about Kimberly. I have a love-hate situation with Kimberly. It has nothing to do with Naomi Scott. I think she's great, and I love Lemonade Mouth, but this character I feel like is not that well written. Okay. So during the campfire scene, everyone's kind of telling each other their darkest, deepest secrets, and she says, no, skip me. I don't want to talk about my issues, or why I was in detention, or why I got detention. So, they skip her and they kind of go along with the story, and then later on, she goes to Jason's house, breaks into his room, and tells him exactly what she did and why she cut her hair. So, when someone trusts you enough to send you a picture or anything else, I feel like as a friend, it is your duty to keep your friends safe and to keep your friends' loyalty. So yeah, what she does, I guess it's not really shown to you, but it is very heavily implied. Her friend sends her a nude picture of herself, and she sends it to her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, with the caption saying, do you really want to bring this girl to your mom or to your house? And it blows up in her face, and that is why in the beginning when you first meet her, these girls are making fun of her and are mocking her because she did a really bad thing. And the thing that really felt uncomfortable to me is that Jason tells her, just because you did a bad thing doesn't make you a bad person. And that's very true. Doing one bad thing doesn't make you a bad person, but constantly making bad choices makes you a bad person. So I feel like they should have iterated that and pretty much have told the viewers, because most of these people that are going to come and see this movie or teenagers and tweens. Like, it is marketed towards them. So I feel like the big moral of the story should be, don't send nudes out because they're going to be leaked by those who want to see you fail, or they're just going to get out somehow. And also, if your friend trusts you with something, don't be a dick and don't send anything out that you know will embarrass your friends. And no matter what, the truth always comes back to you, and karma is a bitch. I think that should have been the story that they could have told with her character, but they kind of didn't. So it's a love and hate relationship between me and Kimberly. I like her, but I dislike her. So yeah. Moving on, let's talk about the Zords and the suits. We don't get to see much of the suits. They don't really morph for a while. They morph towards the end, and we kind of just see them kicking these rock formations. The putties, oh my goodness. I am really, really sad that the putties are giant rock monsters. I think that is a waste of opportunity. They could have done something incredible, but they decided to do something lame, and they are fighting rocks. But, the suits, I was very skeptical at first. I did not like the suits. I thought they looked ridiculous, but seeing them on screen for the amount of time they were on, it was okay. It did fine. I got the concept. I knew they were Power Rangers. I got the color-coded suits. I thought it was fine. But yeah, very disappointed. I wanted to see more of them fighting, but I feel like it's a good tease, because if we do get a sequel, we should get a lot more Power Rangers in their suits, fighting in the streets, fighting out and about, more civilian fights. I just wanted to see them take on another person rather than just Goldar. But those are just me nitpicking issues, because I thought it was okay. The Zords. Watching the Zords is kind of weird. They kind of go by your face a little fast, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint, like, oh, the yellow, blue, black, okay. But I really like the way the saber-toothed tiger and the way that the T-Rex look. I thought the little T-Rex had the cannons and stuff. I thought that was great. I like that the saber-toothed tiger was aggressive. It kind of just shows you the way Trini is. Trini is an aggressive fighter, and I feel like it kind of transcended into her Zord, so I thought that was great. I have the biggest nerd boner ever when I saw that they were inside the Zords with their helmets and their visors were off and you could see their faces. I thought that was insane. I feel like as a child, I really, really wanted to see them inside the Zords, but we never really got that. They were always in costume and their helmets were always shut. But here you actually get to see them inside, which makes me really, really happy, because it's actually the actors inside the Zords or some sort of simulation, and I think they looked great. Cameos, let's talk about the cameos. Sorry, I mean the ice cream. Let's talk about the cameos. Obviously, you knew somewhere deep inside your soul that you were going to see Tommy, Jason David Frank, and Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson in this movie somewhere, because they were all over IMDb. And I mean, they're two of the most popular Rangers, so why not have them do a little cameo? It's not a big cameo. It's not like a prominent cameo. They're just there. Towards the end, people are out in the street taking pictures of the Megazord and like, oh my god, look at them. They're one of those people. They're kind of standing together, taking a picture of the Megazord. I thought that was neat. It was very good fan service. I've never really been a big fan of Tommy or Kimberly. I was always more Trini and Adam or Aisha or Rocky. I was never really into Tommy or Kimberly. I felt like, I don't know, I kind of wanted to see more of the other Rangers than them. Their love story just kind of didn't make sense to me, I guess. But yeah, I was kind of happy. I was one of the only people in the theater, I think, that recognized Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson, because when they came up, I kind of clapped. I was like, yay! And nobody else clapped, so yeah. So obviously, I have not told you guys the entire thing of this movie, because I would just spoil the hell out of this. And I know it's called a spoiler review, but I kind of want to have you guys go watch this movie and still have, like, some things come up and still surprise you guys, and some things are really neat in this movie. So yeah, Comment down below if you watched this movie. What did you think? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Because I really enjoyed this movie. Until next time, bye.